Welcome, 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 Med Spa Marketing Insiders. Today we're talking about New Year's resolutions. Surprise, surprise. January 8th, we have been into the New Year's for a full week. Hopefully everybody's 2022 is off to a blazing start. You guys are crushing it, business, personal, money, finance, everything. But today we're actually going to go through some tips and tricks that I personally have developed over the past I've been doing New Year's resolutions for a while, but I've constantly tweaked. Last year was my best year ever. And I wanted to share this info. I actually got a lot of questions on what this actually, like how to do resolutions, like a ton of questions around it. So I actually wanted to go in and actually share my screen. So without further ado, so essentially how to actually keep your New Year's resolutions. That's the big thing. Creating New Year's resolutions is easy to do. Keeping them and holding yourself accountable is a lot harder to do. So I've actually created 5 different little tips and tricks that has helped me essentially crush last year. So I've kind of broken down into different categories. So personal, business, creative. Those are 3 really big categories for me to move my life forward. Most people are going to have these first 2, personal and business. Creative, I like doing the creative. Obviously, this Facebook Live right now is a piece of content that I'm going to use for different things. But without further ado, personal, like relationships, business, and then creative. So those are kind of the 3 categories that I like to focus on. And within those categories, we're going to go into a little more depth on how to actually structure your New Year's resolutions and what actually goals to make. So like personal would be relationships. Maybe it's a fiance, a husband, like whoever it is. Maybe it's a family member that you want to spend more time with. Maybe it is a friend that you haven't seen in years and you want to catch up with. So building out kind of categories, business, obviously a big one. We're in the aesthetic business, med spa business, body contouring business. Figuring out the amount of leads, the amount of new clients, what kind of revenue you want to create for this entire year and even years to come. It doesn't have to be this next year. And then the creative for me, I love doing content. I love doing the education piece, just like I'm doing right now, to essentially spread knowledge, spread wealth. I wish I had this info when I was first starting years and years ago, but that's kind of the categories that I like to create. Number 2, your goals have to be super, super clear. Super clear. What I mean by that is it has to be an easy yes or no, black and white. There's no gray area. It has to be yes or no. So one thing, for example, one of my goals is to wake up early, right? But waking up early, how do you know what early is, right? Everybody thinks of early as a little bit different. So this is what I've done instead. Wake up by 8 a.m. Monday through Friday, for example. Some people think 8 a.m. is early. Some people don't. Some people think 5 a.m. is early. So this is a crystal clear goal where you will know 100% of the time if you hit this goal. If you wake up at 7:50 Monday through Friday, you have hit the goal. If you wake up at 8:10 Monday, then you have not hit that goal. So waking up early versus waking up by a set time on these given dates. It has to be super, super clear. Another example is, let's say you want to get 10 additional new clients to your med spa, to your body contouring business. So what that looks like is 10 new med spas or 10 new clients this year. So 12 months, that's 120 new clients. Maybe it's a revenue goal. Maybe it's amount of leads goal, because the more narrow you can be with these goals, the more accurate you're going to hit these goals. So a revenue is like, okay, great. I want to add $10,000 in revenue a month. It's very vague because it's like, okay, what do I do to generate revenue? New clients, obviously, but even the amount of leads, the amount of cold calls, the amount of messages, if you can back it down into that. So let's say to get these 10 clients per month, these new 10 clients per month, you have to send 100 messages, for example. So to do that, you would need to 10 times that amount of outreach to get to these new clients, which will lead you to your revenue goal. Obviously, a hypothetical scenario, everybody's a little bit different. It's going to take probably a lot more to get to that, but has to be super, super clear. Number 3, there has to be a finite deadline, right? there has to be a finite deadline. Otherwise, you're just not going to know when this goal needs to be hit. For example, I just started 75 Hard. If anybody knows what that program is, the mental challenge program Andy Frisella created. Not very popular in the kind of aesthetic practice, but I listen to his podcast. I don't love him, but the program is, I've had a lot of friends do it. Essentially for 75 days straight, 2 workouts a day, a gallon of water a day, you read 10 pages a day, no alcohol, no cheat meals, and then you follow a diet. I think I'm missing one more. Take a progress pick every day, but that is for 75 days straight. And the reason why is it's a finite deadline. It's like, okay, you need to do these things every single day for 75 days. It's black and white. It's very concise. It's very precise with did you do it or did you not do it? So that is an example of just a deadline goal. Another one could be, I want to add 10 clients per month, like we mentioned earlier, by this date. So maybe it's like June 1st is the day where you want to hit 10, where you want to ramp up to 10 new clients a day, 10 new patients a day. So these are just things that have helped me personally. I didn't read any articles or anything like that. This is actually the things that I have done, and it has helped me. So another thing is these need to be visible. This is a personal opinion. I've really never heard this. What I did last year was I actually printed out all of my goals on a piece of paper and literally put it right in front of my computer screen. I saw them every day. I picked it up at least 3-4 times a day just to read over them, just to keep these goals top of mind, right? If they're not top of mind, they're not going to get done. If you can't recite your goals very quickly, then you don't really know them. They're not really a goal at that point. So I like printing them out, even writing them down. Some people like write them down daily. I will close 10 new deals this month. Everybody's a little bit different, but I think they need to be visible on a piece of paper. That's just my personal opinion. And then lastly, all this is good and great, but if you're not tracking what you're doing, you're not going to know if you actually hit these goals. So I use the Strides app. It's a free app. I actually pay for the premium version. But tracking your progress, what gets tracked is what gets measured. So if you're not tracking things, you don't really know if you hit this goal. Like one thing that I've been doing for 2-ish years is writing down every morning something I'm grateful for. And I've been doing it for a little over 2 years, and it has rewired my brain to actually seek out the gratefulness things that happen in my life. So that's really the long and short of the things that have helped me. Everybody's a little bit different. I'm actually curious to see what you do. I know your goals and your kind of framework to set these goals are going to be a little bit different than mine. So I'm curious, drop it in the comments. What tips, tricks, things do you do when you're setting your goals to help you get the best year moving forward? All right. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it.